If immigration boosts growth, why are living standards falling in places like Australia and the UK? You're in the right video. We're unpacking the global housing bottleneck that turned a fix into higher rent. Australia hit a 12-year low in building permits while taking in more people. The UK's house prices? About 8 times average earnings, and London is roughly 12. That gap isn't abstract. It's your rent, your commute, your stalled pay. Stay with me and I'll show you how planning systems, not migrants, quietly siphon off your quality of life, and what a real housing blitz looks like. Why did approvals crater while demand went vertical? That's the riddle draining your paycheck every month. You felt it first. Tighter rentals, higher deposits, shorter listings. Then the stats caught up and whispered what your lease already screamed. Permits slowed right when people needed homes. Let's break the pipeline. A project starts with an application that has to match zoning, height, setbacks, parking. Then financing. Lenders stress test pre-sales, debt costs, and contractor risk. Labor gets lined up with subcontractors that are already stretched. Materials contracts lock in steel, concrete, timber. Then inspections, foundations, framing, fire, accessibility, utilities. Any delay in one step hits the next like dominoes. By the time a crane moves, the clock already ate a year. Now the choke. Rates spiked, debt got expensive, pro formas snapped. Developers shelved projects because rents couldn't catch the new costs fast enough. Councils moved slowly as staff handled a flood of complex files with out-of-date codes. Neighbors hired lawyers, challenged shadows, traffic counts, setbacks. Each month of delay burned cash. Supply shrank just as demand roared. Australia shows the stall in 4K. Multi-unit permits slumped to a 12-year low. Skilled trades thinned. Electricians booked out. Carpenters cost more. Site managers jumped jobs. Insolvencies climbed as builders got crushed between fixed-price contracts and materials inflation. Concrete, timber, and glass all ran hotter than budgets. Projects paused, and the pipeline lost future completions that would have mattered right now. The UK stacked a different tower of friction. Homes sit around 8 times average earnings nationwide, and London floats closer to 12. Planning objections pile up. Height limits hold down supply right where jobs are dense. Infrastructure contributions add cost and rework, especially when utilities or transit upgrades get pushed onto the project. Timelines stretch, carrying charges rise, and the math breaks before a shovel hits dirt. Here's the core insight. Elasticity. When supply can't respond quickly, price does. It's not philosophical, it's mechanical. Add households faster than permits turn into keys and rents take the hit. Prices follow. The load shifts to your monthly budget because the system can't flex. It's like trying to serve triple the dinner crowd with the same kitchen and one chef on sick leave. The tickets stack up, the food gets late, the bill goes up. Nobody's happy, but the dining room stays full because people still need to eat. So if permits are the throttle, who controls the throttle? Councils, planning boards, utility sign-offs, transport agencies, and the lenders who decide if a project gets money. The opening move isn't mystery. You speed approvals and legalize by-right density near jobs and transit so projects don't die in endless discretionary reviews. The data points one way. Without faster approvals and clear by-right rules where people actually work, demand wins and rents rise. So we know the throttle. Now let's expose the lie that migrants took your home and show the real culprit in the control room. If migrants aren't the villain, who's actually steering your housing costs? Follow the fingerprints. They're on zoning maps, council agendas, utility sign-off sheets, and bank term sheets. Borders get the headlines. Permits set your rent. Politicians pitch a simple fix. Tighten borders, cool rent. It sounds neat. Fewer people, more space, lower prices. But here's the catch. Short-term intake cuts can't clear a decade of underbuilding or speed a permit office that moves like dial-up. The constraint isn't headcount, it's capacity. machine that turns land into keys is undersized, overregulated, and slow. So what happens when you yank the migration lever without touching supply? You get the Canada and Australia problem. Both tweaked into, both still watched per capita growth sag in places where supply reform lagged. You can't spreadsheet your way out if the construction pipeline still takes years to deliver a mid-rise, and the cost stack murders feasibility before a crane shows up. Less demand on paper, same bottlenecks in real life. And the UK twist is spicier. You can push net migration down and still see rents rise if planning stays frozen and infrastructure trails new homes by miles. Green belts stay rigid. Height caps lock in scarcity near jobs. Utilities need upgrades that don't arrive with the tenants. So the market rations with price. Your lease becomes the shock absorber. Here's where the research crowd and the job site foreman actually agree. Productivity and zoning beat vibes. Unlock density near transit so workers can live where the jobs are. Use pre-approved pattern books so architects aren't reinventing kitchens for the 10th time. Scale factory-built housing. Panels, modules, whole bathrooms craned in. So you trade weather delays and site chaos for assembly line speed. You can police visas all day. It won't pour concrete faster. Let me give you the mini-case playbook. Cities that legalized by right mid-rise around stations cut months off timelines because projects no longer die in discretionary hearings. When they paired that with infrastructure cash, substations, sewers, bus lanes, the delivery pace picked up and rent growth cooled from red hot to just warm. Not a fantasy, just fewer choke points. So what does a real housing blitz look like? The kind that actually drops rent instead of sending it to the moon. Start by aligning immigration with regional housing targets, not vibes. Then legalize mid-rise near jobs and transit so you can build where people actually need homes. Fast-track approvals with clear, time-boxed decisions and digital plan checks. Fund utilities and transit up front so projects don't stall waiting for a transformer that ships in 6 months. And fix the construction labor pipeline, apprenticeships, credential recognition, and off-site manufacturing, so the workforce scales with the plan.